जयति पराशरसूनुः सत्यवती हृदय नंदनो व्यासः यस्य आस्य कमलगलितं वाङ्मयमृतं जगत्पिबति व्यासाय भवनाशाय श्रीशाय गुणराशये हृद्याय शुद्धविद्याय मध्वाय च नमो नमः। नारायणं सुरगुरुं जगदेकनाथं भक्तप्रियं सकललोकनमस्कृतं च त्रैगुण्यवर्जितमजं विभुम् आद्यम् ईशं वन्दे भवग्नम् अमरासुरसिद्धवन्द्यं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। My dear friends, I don't know how many of you remember 3 weeks ago, that was my last opportunity to have a discourse here. We were discussing about the human values which are represented in Mahabharata, especially. These are all introduction to entry to Bhagavad Gita as such. Unless and until we have this background, we cannot understand the heart of Bhagavad Gita. So these are the prerequisites for entering into Bhagavad Gita. So in this regard, I explained about the physical preparation, mental preparation, and all those Anganyasa, Karanyasa, Dhyana Shloka, everything, how to contemplate on those shlokas. How to have that Arthanusandhana. After having Arthanusandhana, how to meditate on that. That's most important. Having Arthanusandhana is not easy there, but still to contemplate continuously on that. That is most important in meditation or in understanding Bhagavad Gita also. So we need to go into the depth of those meaning and continuously, persistently, consistently we have to contemplate on that. Then only we can get so many new meanings there. That new meaning in Bhagavad Gita, which is not written in any book, that will strike you. That is called as intuition. Your intuition power is going to get enlightened there. So we need to reach to that level of activating our intuition power. Everybody has got this intuition power. There are two things in our life. Only in human life this is possible. One is intellectual power and another thing is intuitional power. Intellectuality, that is with our own capacity, we try to gain knowledge from everywhere, all the sources, books, lectures, and listening to everyone. That is intellectual. But intuitional is purely, it is one's own yogyata, jiva yogyata it is. It is not related to any of your external reading or listening to any lectures and all. It is purely, based on our own jiva yogyata. So that if we have to activate, then we need to continuously contemplate on each and every shloka of Bhagavad Gita there. So we just discuss about Dhyana Shloka and all, how to contemplate on that, each word by word I just told you. So that's how we need to enter into. Then after that, I started to tell you the main human values which are represented by 7 characters, which are the most important in Mahabharata. See, we cannot find any Grantha which is equal to Mahabharata. So it is told in Shastra, Vedavyasa Rishi, he says, we cannot find it anywhere. So whatever it is told there, it may be repeated in some other books, but what is not there, definitely you will not find in any of the Granthas. So that is what it says. Vedavyasa, he gives the importance to this Mahabharata. It can be read by each and everyone. Where Vedas, Stri, Shudra, Brahma, Bandhunam, Traina, Shruti, Vochara. So that's why he said, I am composing this Mahabharata because for everyone has to read that Mahabharata. So that is the reason why we are now discussing about the background of this Bhagavad Gita, that is human values. So in that also, I just mentioned about, that is Dharma. Dharma is represented by Dharmaraja Yudhishthira. How he is representing the human value Dharma. The righteousness, how it plays a very important role in our life. Everybody has to be righteous. He has his own Dharma. What is that Dharma? Samajika dharma is different, Pati dharma is different, Patni dharma is different. There are so many dharmas, individual. But as an important individual in this society, what we need to follow, that is the righteousness. So dharma is represented by Dharmaraja, that I discussed already. Because it is very easy to do dharma, but to understand what is dharma, it is very difficult. Dharmasya charanam shayaha, dharma jnananta dushkaram. Satyasya vachanam shayaha, satya jnananta dushkaram. These are the quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam which says. So we cannot understand just Bhagavad Gita if you just go into only Bhagavad Gita. You need to know many other shastras or all other backgrounds you need to know. Ekam shastra madhiyana. This is told by Charaka in Ayurveda. He says, Ekam shastra madhiyano navidyat shastrashayam tasmat bahushruta shastram, he says. Vijaniyat chikitsakaha. Ayurveda students, they know this. Tasmat bahushruta shastram. If you want to become a good physician, you must have the knowledge of all other allied aspects or allied subjects knowledge also. Ekam shastra madhiyano navidyat shastra nishchayam. If you want to speak on any one subject, you need to know many other subjects to speak on that single topic there. So this is how we need to gain knowledge. If you want to speak on Bhagavad Gita, there are so many other knowledge which are going to complement to the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Navidyat shastra nishchayam tasmat bahushruta shastram. So that means he must be a bahushruta. Bahushruta means he must have studied many other granthas also. Vijaniya chikitsaka. So that's why Mahabharata is represented by these 7 characters, that is Panchapandavas, Draupadi and Krishna, where Dharmaraja represents Dharma. Then Bhima represents 10 human values. What are those 10 human values also that I mentioned in my previous discourse there? So we were discussing one by one among that. Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya, Prajna, Medha, Dhriti, Sthiti, Prana, Bala, Yoga. So these are the 10 important human values which are represented. One by one we are discussing. Jnana, I just mentioned. What jnana is necessary? Knowledge is represented by Bhagavad Vishayaka Jnana. This means, jnana means knowledge. So you must know the difference between knowledge, jnana, and wisdom. Wisdom is something which is inbuilt. You cannot gain from any other resources. Wisdom, it should be inbuilt. So that comes to you from within you. That's what I told you, intuition and wisdom. These are the two things which goes hand in hand. So when wisdom is activated, that intuition power is also activated there. So wherever, in whichever the book you search, you won't get that knowledge. That is going to strike to you. So that should be our motive in studying Bhagavad Gita there. What is told in book, that if you repeat, that's okay. But when you contemplate on one shloka, there you will get at a point of time, you will get that knowledge, that enlightening, where it is not told anywhere. So that is the real intuition. So we need to work on that intuition power, and that intuition has to be Jagrata in each and every one. We have that, but we have snubbed it down. We don't use this intuition power. As the modern facilities and modern so-called sophistication life has come out, so we have suppressed this intuition. Earlier, we had this clairaudience and clairvoyance. These are the two things which are still now. But we forgot that when telephones, mobiles, everything came, we lost this power of clairaudience. People used to just sit and speak. Where they are away from their place, they used to have that communication. That is called as clairaudience. Clairvoyance, they used to see. Sanjaya got the same thing. Clairaudience and clairvoyance, which is bestowed by Lord Krishna there. So he said, so Sanjaya, you can sit there in your Hastinapura only, and you can view what is happening in Kurukshetra. So that's how clairaudience and clairvoyance. So these are the two powers what we have forgotten actually. So we need to work on that, and we need to make it activated. So that's why this jnana means Bhagavad Vishayaka jnana. So knowledge about God or knowledge about the Supreme, it is represented by Bhima. Bhima is going to represent it. So in Bhagavata it is told, Shuddhe Bhagavate Dharmehe Bhima. Bhima, he is having Nishtura Dharma there. Dharmaraja, he represents Dakshinya Dharma. If somebody, big person who comes, then Dakshinya. For many of us, we behave like this. Dakshinya, when a very high VVIP comes, we are ready to compromise all our basic rules. But Bhima never used to do that. He never used to spare anyone. That is Nishtura Dharma. We in our practical life, we are going to compromise all our basic discipline and rules and regulation for VVIPs. But Bhima, I'll give you one instance in Mahabharata, what Bhima says to Dharmaraja. So, when Dhritarashtra, after winning and all, Pandavas, they won the battle and all, Dharmaraja became the king there. And Dhritarashtra, who was there, he just requested Dharmaraja to give some dravya or money for conducting Shraddha Karma of his own sons. Because 100 sons, they were all dead. Then Dharmaraja goes there, okay, you can just take from the treasury there. Then Bhima says, no, I cannot allow. The public money cannot be used for your own personal use there, for your own son's Shraddha. We are not going to give that. So Bhima revolted there. That is called as Nishtura Dharma. He did not allow Dhritarashtra. He did not allow Dhritarashtra to get the dravya or the money, monetary benefit from Dharmaraja there. He defended there. No, that is not right. It is not our money. It is public money. It cannot be utilized for personal Shraddha Karma and all. See, this is how Bhima. That's why Shuddhe Bhagavate Dharme Bhimaha. That's why that quotation is there. Whereas Dharmaraja Dakshinya Dharma there. He is ready to compromise. But Bhima never allows this, so that's why Bhima is considered as one of the most important personality in Mahabharata, which we need to understand very keenly there. When we enter into the character study, then only we can understand this character of Bhima there. Otherwise, everybody, whoever has commented on Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita, just they say that Bhima is a Timandi, he is just a big eater. And he is a big fighter, whatever comes in his way, he is going to destroy everything. There only his physical power is exhibited, that's all. But what is his mental elevation? Nobody goes into the depth of that, Bhima's mental elevation. So that's why Nishtura Dharma is followed by Bhimasena. So that's why he represents 10 human values. See, almost Dharmaraja represents only one value. Bhima represents 10 values. Arjuna represents 3 values. Nakula, Sakadeva, they represent each value there. So, Bhima has been endowed with 10 human values. That's why we need to follow Shuddha Bhagavata Dharma, means we need to follow the footsteps of Bhimasena there. So, Bhimasena is the greatest character there, which is not understood properly by any of the commentators there. So, we need to go into the depth there. Then only we can understand what are the human values he represents. Then he represents, after this jnana, bhakti. Bhakti also is an important path in the devotion there. Smartavyaha satatam vishnoho vismartavyo na jatujit. Ete vidhi nishedasyuhu etayoreva kinkaraha. This is a beautiful quotation in Shastra which says that Smartavyas satatam vishnoho. We must always remember God. In all parts of our life, each and every second, Smartavyaha Satatam Vishnu. Vishnu means Supreme God. That's all. Okay? It is not a person's name there. I told you so many times. Namani Sarvani Yamavishanti Tamvai Vishnum Paramudaharanti. Namani Sarvani Yamavishanti. All the names are directed towards Him only. Akasha Patitam Toyam Vita Gacchati Sagaram Sarvadeva Namaskaraha. Keshavam Pratigachati. You bow your head to any god, any demigod. That ultimately reaches Vishnu only. Keshavam Pratigachati. So Vishnu is the ultimate. Vishnu means it is the character or the guna, attributes what we can understand there. Vishatiti Vishnu, Deveshteti Vishnu. These are the etymological meaning of the word Vishnu. Okay? So that's why Smartavyaha Satatam Vishnoho Vismartavyo na jatu chet. Never ever you forget the name of Lord there. Vismartavyo na jatu chet. This is Vidhi and this is Nisheda. What is Vidhi? Smartavyaha Satatam Vishnoho. What is Nisheda? Vismartavyo na jatu chet. So we should pray God that Please don't give that type of attitude to forget your names, Namasmarana. That's why Bhakti cult, which was started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all other his followers, they gave importance to the Bhakti, Nama Sankirtana. Nama Sankirtana is the most important path in attaining the goal, that is Chaturvida Purushartha, Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. Ultimately, if you want to achieve moksha, you need to follow the path of bhakti there. So, bhakti is represented by Bhimasena. Then, Jnana Bhakti and Vairagya. Vairagya is an important thing. What do you mean by Vairagya? Many people, they think that leaving everything and going into forest is Vairagya. To be precise, that is not Vairagya at all. Don't leave anything and run away to the forest. If you go to the forest there, you are going to remember what is happening there in my home, what happened there, that only will be bothering you there. So many people, they do this, they leave everything. When they get a lot of problems in their life, they leave everything and they run away to many forests and Himalayan regions, they go there. Sitting in Himalayas, what they do, they think on their life in their home only. What is happening to my wife or what happened to my children, that is only bothering them there. So instead of going to Himalayas and bothering about the family, it is better to sit here and think of Himalayas. That is the beauty. You need not go there. See, you should think here. Wherever you sit, that is Badrinath, that is Himalaya, that is Kedara, everything. Thinking here, sitting here, you contemplate on that. It is better to do that, no? Instead of going there in Himalaya and bothering about your own family, wife, kids and children. That is not bhakti. That is not vairagya there. That is not at all vairagya. Vairagya means, there is a beautiful word which is contemplated, which is composed by a beautiful philosopher. What he says is detached attachment. See, please remember this word. Detached attachment is the thing which is necessary there. Many people who are here, they exhibit attached detachment. That is not real vairagya there. Real vairagya means detached attachment should be there. You must be here. Padma Patra Mivambasa. Same thing comes in Bhagavad Gita there. Lotus flower, if you take out from the water, it is going to die. But it should be there in water. But it is not going to get attached to that. So that is detached attachment there. So that detached attachment, that technique we need to follow in our life. That is vairagya. You need not run away. Don't run away anywhere. Running away will not solve your problem. It will add to your problem only. Many people have this habit of running away from all the problems in their life. We should not run away. We should face everything. That facing courage you get when you understand the concept of philosophy perfectly there. So this is detached attachment is vairagya. Unfortunately, many of the sannyasis also, they show this attached detachment. For the exhibitionism, it has become, sannyasatva has become an exhibitionism. Unfortunately, I am sorry to say this. Because what we are seeing, you are the proof there. They amass the assets, everything. Even an individual cannot earn so much. What Matha and other institutions, in the name of God, spirituality, they amass the assets. That is not really. See, what is vairagya, what is sannyasa, it is told wonderfully in Shastras. Yadahareva virajet, tadahareva pravarajet. Whenever you get the detachment in you, that itself is vairagya. Vairagya means not just wearing exhibitionism or dress code. It should be there from inside. So this vairagya is a beautiful human value which is represented by Bhimasena. Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya. Then these are the basics. What Bhimasena represents. These are the human values. Unless and until you have a background or basic knowledge of this, you will not understand what is Bhagavad Gita there. Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, if you start reading Bhagavad Gita in the reading itself, you will never understand. What is the intention there? What Vedavyasa wrote there? What is the purpose of writing that shloka? That word exactly there, you need to have all this background. So, Jnana, Bhakti and Vairagya we remember. That's why in Shastra it is told, Bhimasena samo nasti senayo rubhayorapi pandityecha patutvecha shuratvecha balepicha. This is the way how Vedavyasa glorifies Bhimasena there. Bhimasena samo nasti. There is no one equal to Bhima. Senayo rubhayorapi. In both the army, there is no one which is equal to the character of Bhima. Bhimasena samo nasti senayo rubhayorapi. Ubhaya means both. Pandityecha in what? Pandityecha, Patutvecha, Shuratvecha, Balepicha. See, so many wonderful attributes to Bhimasena there. Panditya. Panditya means that intelligence and Shastra Gnana. That is called as Panditya. Pandityecha. Patutva means, Patu means skillfulness. That skilled activity, whatever he does, that skill must be there. So he is a perfect personification for the skill is Bhimasena. Shuratvecha, Shuratva, courage, that braveness, whatever he has. So that is the beauty there. Pandityecha, Patutvecha, Shuratvecha and Balevecha. Everybody knows that Bala. But unfortunately, everybody concentrates on only Bala, but leaving all these gunas of Bhimasena there. He is definitely for Bala, strength. But not only that there, that we need to understand. So 3 values of human values we have seen here. Then in my next discourse we will go to the other 7 values represented by Bhimasena. Till then, Hari Om Tat Sat.